Listen, I don't know if you watched the Tinder Swindler.
The truth doesn't cost anything, but a lie could cost you everything.
Ja, het is niet betaald. Hè. We hebben meerdere contactpogingen gedaan. Ja, en via welk mailadres was dat?
I was angry and motivated to get her.
But we never expected what happened next.
It got a bit out of hand.
Nicky was alerted by a red flag in his accounting.
I wanted to confront possible fraudster with a hidden camera. Our plan was to get inside the house to expose this lady. I went to the police, but to be honest, the police is not going to get my money.
It all started with Lucas, an ex-boyfriend of the alleged fraudster.
I was used, is what I can say. I want her to actually really realize, to take a step back and realize the amount of damage she's caused to people's lives.
Elle a tué des chiens. Elle a tué mon chien. Elle a fait ça. Stop, elle fait stop, s'il te plaît.
This part made us really angry. But what could we do?
It's just gonna keep going and keep going.
De mensen die dan nog niet hebben voorgehad of niet veel, weten eigenlijk niet veel hoe dat ze daarmee kunnen omgaan.
I think we need to bring up awareness of these kind of issues, and
We're not even doing it to destroy your life, but we're doing it just to get justice and to protect future victims. This is not about me. This is bigger than me.
Twee mensen, gevangenis.
But there are always two sides to every story.
I'm really glad you picked it up and you saw some potential in it.
Moi j'ai envie d'aller droit au but, direct. J'ai envie de la mettre sur VRT.
We need to do a fucking documentary on that.
La néglige sa fille comme une femme qui n'a pas de cœur.
Ja. Maar was het een slechte moeder?
Ouais. C'est ça qui a fait en sorte que je voulais plus être avec elle.
Help us bring awareness by sharing this message.
Nicky, welcome on the Firestarters Podcast. I want to welcome you to the new studio.
Yeah, it's
So,
looking very cool. I was here a few months ago, and
Yeah, it was completely different.
It is a nice renovation. Yeah.
Cheers. So I want to start by having you introduce yourself and which company you work for, and we'll take it from there.
My name is Nicky. I run a massage business together with my wife. It's called VayaMassage. We started the business like 5 to 6 years ago, and we focus on bringing massage services at people's places at home. The company grew quite large organically in the past years, let's say. And now we are covering the entire Flemish region. We are also working in Holland, and we have like 70 therapists working for us. So everything is going fine. I love the business. We only have happy clients. We only we sell relaxation. We sell happiness. So it's a cool business to be in. But we, in just 5 years, we grew really big, and we saw it as a like a business model, not like being a massage therapist and expanding it. We really saw it like a business. So yeah.
Right. Just to keep things light, let's talk about last weekend. Where were you with VayaMassages?
Yeah, we went to Tomorrowland to work. Not only party, we had a few parties, but it was mainly work. But man, I'm still recovering. I'm just tired because of it. I've been there 8 days. The weekends are only 3 days, but we had to go there 8 separate days. Also build up, break down some after parties.
So am I imagining that you're doing B2B when you're going to Tomorrowland? Yeah. And so are the DJs getting massages, or are the people who are setting up getting massages, or only the managers in the back room getting massages? Who's getting all the fun?
In this case, the really wealthy clients. So you have like a luxury camping area. It's called the mansions.
Is that the villas? The big
It's the
oh,
villas.
yo.
Yeah. And
yeah.
we have been working together with them for years. We sell our services there, but also the exclusive areas. So you have like the VIP decks, the comfort decks. You have all kind of decks, but you also have an exclusive area. It's for the really wealthy people. Not a lot of Dutch people running around there. They're mostly American, Asian, and everything. And we also give our massage services there as an extra general service.
So you're
people.
actually divided over different areas, even it's not just one place.
Indeed, yeah. And we have been talking about also doing the artist area, because you said they also massage the DJs. They actually do that, but that assignment is with some other therapist that has been working with them for years. And Tomorrowland is like, they are really loyal, you know? So
it kind of ties into the next part of the podcast, which is the podcast.
The podcast.
It's not only loyalty, but also honesty. So let me just check my notes here real quick, how I'm going to go into it. Actually, I wrote down 2 quotes. I didn't know which one to use. One was, integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. I like that one a lot. And the more like, because I don't know how I'm going to use the quote, but maybe it will be like the title or something of the podcast. The other one is, the truth doesn't cost anything, but a lie could cost you everything.
Yeah, I think it's point on for the case we're going to talk about. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take that in the back of our minds and move forward to the reason why you're here.
Yeah.
So a few months ago, you gave me a call.
Yeah,
and
I'm glad you answered it.
And what did you say when I picked up?
Don't remember exactly, but I know we've known each other from other events, and I had a case that I really wanted to confront someone. I wanted to confront a possible fraudster, someone that was conning people, also our company. And at that time, I was like a bit, let's say, angry and motivated to get her. Huh?
So a little taste of revenge was in the.
I think it's I think I have to be honest. Yeah, it was for me the only way to get back to her or to that person. So we had a chat, and I said, Sander, let's. I got this case, and I think she invited me. She doesn't know I'm on to her, so I want to confront her with a hidden camera and voice memos and everything. Now I don't have any experience in it. I know you were a videographer or a video maker, so I'm really glad you picked it up and you saw some potential in it. Because we had a great adventure since then. It was like half a year ago, I think. Yeah. But it got a bit out of hand, I must say.
I mean, fuck. But let's go back for a minute.
Yeah, how it started, how I came across this client, like half a year ago, just before we got contact about this. I was sitting at my desk and I had some incasso files from the lawyer.
Can you explain real quick incasso? Just two words.
Incasso files. So if a client, let's say we do services to just particular services, and if the client doesn't pay, we send the incasso. You have a workflow about it. So a company can send 1-2 reminders, then you have to have a registered mail. And after the registered mail, the best thing you can do is appeal them for the courts. With the incasso or with a lawyer.
Right.
It's the easiest way. So we have a lot of massages, so also a lot of clients. And in case, this also means sometimes you have clients that don't pay. In general, it's not a big percentage. I think we were talking in 2024 about 1 to 1.5% of the total gross amount that was not paid. It was also our fault because we didn't have all the systems in place. But it's another story.
You're still a growing company.
Yeah, we're growing the company, and we didn't have the right systems. We gave a bit of trust, and in general, it is what it is. So only 1.5% of the clients didn't pay. But we have a good incasso procedure to go after our money, and mostly we get our money instead only if the client, let's say, sometimes the client isn't alive anymore. Sometimes the client moved to another country. Sometimes they use the wrong name or alias.
Generally speaking, when something doesn't get paid, it's maybe slightly intentional, but most of the time it's conditional.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about the conditional.
You always want to give the benefit of the doubt.
Always, yeah.
Right.
So, and this is also why it's extended so far, because we always go from a positive mindset. We send a lot of reminders before we even get to a lawyer. Because if you get to a lawyer, you have to proceed. There's a €200 can easily become 800 to 1,000 euro easily. So, okay, then you want to give the clients enough reminders before it gets to that. Now, okay. In short, I got some files and I got it sent back, and then the lawyer gives the list. Okay, we got some money there. We got some money there. She doesn't have money. We have to go after it. She doesn't live in Belgium anymore, or whatever. And there were some names I couldn't go after it anymore, so I just credited the invoices and go on. And and what happened is our planning service. Of course, the list, it's a blacklist of clients that don't pay. So we know the addresses and the names that are on it. And my eye fell on something. And it was actually a name that was being used, alias. So we had, I can't say the names. I have to look out with it. But let's say we had a few similar names coming up. And they were not written exactly the same, but let's say sometimes they were using their last name with another name, and sometimes they were using their first name with another name. It's really weird. And it was in the same region. And I saw two of the same phone numbers on two different accounts. To make an account, you need a name, a unique name, and a unique email address. And we saw some similarities. And I look into it, okay, different email addresses, but then indeed the birth date, exactly the same. That's weird. The appointments were like, the client made 2 appointments in like a month, didn't pay, but a year later, the client made 2 other appointments in another region, on another address, also didn't pay it, but with the same birth date. So I started to filter on the birth date, and I came across more. So it was a really weird story, but the people, the woman that was allegedly conning us, she was using the same birth date, but with different names. To end the story, I came across 5 different accounts. And it even went back not 2 years ago. It started in 2021, 2022, even had assignments then. So when I wrapped everything up, I had like 15 appointments that were not paid on 5 different addresses, 5 different emails, and with few similarities.
What happened next?
So, okay, I thought, yeah, now we were being conned. So I made an appointment with police station to make a report out of it and to go on with it. And when I made the appointments, I was printing everything and checking everything, double checking everything. Hasn't it been paid? Be sure. Calling all the numbers that we had. But let's say we have some numbers in the client list, but sometimes in the history, my personnel also did phone calls with people. It could be 2 years ago. And I saw some other numbers being used as well. Everything is being logged. So, and I started calling every number, and I got to an ex-partner of this client. So someone picked up the phone. The ex-partner of this client, the guy told me, yeah, man, if you're looking for her, sorry to break it to you, but you're never going to see her money. You have been conned. Okay, interesting. This guy was a really chill guy, and he was really open about everything. So that's actually how it started.
This is kind of like a sort of the first key moment of the story. What did you feel at that moment?
I was a bit angry. I think it's a natural emotion. Yeah. At first, I'm really sensitive for everything that is, how do I say it, not justified, not fair. And in general, in my life, everything that is not fair, I get sensitive about it. I'm a bit of a problem solver, world solver.
So it triggered you.
It triggered me. And I had the option to push another button.
Okay.
Because the funny thing is, I got onto this person and I look back, and what did I discover? This person actually made a new appointment, and you can't make this up, a week ago. A week before I discovered, this person made a new appointment on a different location, different address. So I called my therapist that went there. How was it? There's a therapist had nothing bad to say. It was a really decent client, a really decent house, woman, nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to the police officer, I told her, yeah, this client made a new appointment, blah, blah, blah. And to make it even more interesting, the client made a next appointment. What do I have to do about it? What do I have to do about it? At first.
Yeah, because before you called me, you must have had a few other thoughts, right? What was the process that you went through?
Actually, my team, because I was having my emotions, I was doing in the back office, and I didn't communicate it to my team. They're doing other tasks, of course, but I briefed them. And one of my planning colleagues said, oh, but we canceled the next appointments because I saw she didn't pay the last appointment yet. Because by the years we got smarter, of course. If you don't pay your last appointment, you're not going to get the next appointment. So she already canceled it. She did it good. And I said, no, we're not going to cancel it. You have to call her again. Say you made a mistake. Make a new appointment with her. And I couldn't tell them everything yet. But I was thinking, I'm going to confront this client. I know where this client lives. So I fixed the massage outfit and I went to this client. And at first they were like told this, there were some really wild stories like, how are we going to get to her? So at first I was thinking I'm going to let the lady lie down on the massage table. I start massaging and then I'm going to confront her while she's lying on the table. In this way, she cannot get up that easily. And it's a bit, making her ridiculous as well. At first, when I was thinking about going to that appointment, I had some wild thoughts how to make it more dramatically, like, should I put her on the massage table and then confront her so she's not able to get up this quick? But later I thought, nah, man, no, it's not how I want to put my company in the media and nobody deserves it, because still maybe there's another story behind it as well at that certain time. Maybe I'm confronting someone that has a story. Maybe I made a mistake. I double checked everything, but you never.
Can we talk about this for a minute? About how sure you are, because we're gonna go into the whole next part of the podcast, which is crazy story. But are you sure that you're sure? Because that obviously I imagine that you're not going to confront someone if you're not 100% sure.
No. I actually, at first it was a lot of data. It was a lot of invoices, different addresses, and regularities. But at a certain time when I talked to the ex-partner, I got it all matched because the ex-partner confirmed those addresses without me saying what the address was. So I said, yeah, but she made an appointment in, let's say, Assen. And he said, oh yeah, at that street. Okay, she made an appointment at that. And he confirmed a lot of it. So I was 100% sure at that time. So yeah, but I even got more sure. I told you I went to the police station to make up a...
But wait, you went to 2 different police stations, right? Yeah. Explain us the story behind the contact with the police.
Yeah, so first my police station, they did they have a lot of work, so you come up with the story, you have a lot of invoices, but it's company-wise. So mostly if a company has an issue with the clients, they have to go to court. It's not a really police issue unless you can say they really did some fraud way. The way she did
The client?
Yeah, the way she possibly did a fraud was by using the different names on the internet. So by using aliases, then actually you are conning people. If you're just not paying a company, and actually the police cannot do anything about it. It's not the police, their issue. You have to go to court. But because you use different aliases, they could make a case about it. So that was a good thing because I wanted to confront this client. The woman that helped me, she was really nice. She helped me and she said, okay, this is going to be the procedure. We're going to send it to the province, Hasselt, and from the province, they're going to send it to the local police and see if there's going to be a case about it. But if you really want to proceed it, and I told her, like, okay, but this client made a new appointment, so I want to confront her. Can I do this? Or is it like illegal to go? No, because she books you. Of course you can go there, but take care in what you find. Be safe. So she said, maybe you should contact the local police if you're going to do that, so they know about it. So I contacted the local police, and I gave them my story. It's all by phone, so it's a bit, hey, I got this. I got a woman that allegedly is conning me. She's living there, blah, blah, blah. And I got a really nice police officer on the phone, and he said, oh, okay, this is actually my region. I'm going to look it up. He looked it up, and he said, oh, but there's nobody living there. And I said, I'm very sure she's living there or someone is living there.
Because she made the appointment.
Yeah. And it's the second one. So we went to a house and, oh, okay, that's weird because the house is actually unlivable. It had a building mistake or something on it. You couldn't rent it. Okay, first thing. But then I said the name and aliases. And I said the previous addresses. And of course, every police officer can look some stuff up. They cannot tell you everything, but this guy, he said, okay, he's not lying. I'm not bullshitting. I'm onto something because they see their file. And in the beginning, he didn't say much because they cannot say something about it. But he confirmed some things and he took it serious. So he also said, okay, but if you do this, when is his appointment? Maybe we can send a team. But the appointment was in a weekend, so the team switched.
Okay.
So he was not able to come there. And they said, man, if you're really having trouble, call the general police officer number and they're going to send a team. But it's not really their office, because it's a small region and they got dispatching teams of other bigger regions, I guess. So what I finally did is we didn't call the police and we just went there. So when we were planning it, we took our precautions, of course, of what are we able to do and what are we not able to do. Because our plan was to expose this lady. And in a way, so you're not able to film inside someone else, his house, when this person doesn't know about it. But you are able to make a voice recording. So I don't know how it works, but yeah, for us, it was, if I confronted this lady at the door, I just got the door slammed. Easy. So it was, I was thinking I have to get inside the house.
You worked out a strategy.
I worked out a strategy. She was booking a massage, so I was thinking about setting up the table. I didn't do that. I just went inside with the table. And this lady, I remember I went inside. Hey, my name is Nicky from VayaMassage. Let's go inside. And she said, oh yeah, let's go upstairs. And I was like, oh no, maybe we have to look here. Don't know exactly, but I wanted to be in the living room. And I said, maybe I'm first going to check, maybe we can put a table here, blah, blah, blah. So to really go inside her house, walk further, put down my table, and then talk to her. But I was doing some small talk while doing that, like, hey, are we getting disrupted? Is your man home? I didn't know if she had a man.
Yeah, but let's not jump ahead.
Okay.
So let's, before we start, talking about what happened there, let's talk about how you decided to prepare.
Okay. So at first, I checked everything 100 times to be sure what this lady did. And I played everything in my mind before I was going to confront her. I couldn't do it alone. So when I called for a videographer and I had a partner in this, I actually had an incentive to also make it work. by the date, when the date is coming, you feel the stress building up, the adrenaline, because are you sure? Are you 100% sure? Double check everything again. And what if there's someone else at home? How are you gonna do this? So yeah, there were a lot of different situations playing in my head on how to do this. Also the legal side. So I talked with a lawyer. He told me what we could do, what we couldn't do. So in the preparation side, when I had an appointment this day, I came way early to really make some footage about how the story unfolded and what we were going to do. Like we wanted to make a kind of vlog about it. I think this was the first idea, just making a vlog about it, one episode, and cool. And let's see what we get.
So maybe you should clarify the intention of the result of that vlog.
I have to be 100% honest. At that certain time, I was still angry.
Okay.
I was thinking about exposing her. I didn't know anything about her. I just know I needed a lot of money from her. So I wanted to make a story about it. Of course, it unfolds to something else once you get into the story. I think it's normal that you change your point of view as time goes on. And the first emotions are revenge. And then you think about it and then you say, we cannot do this, or it's not fair for this lady, even if she stole from us. So yeah, I was really careful with that. Let's get back to the preparations if you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the morning of what's happening.
Yeah. First, I'm thinking about canceling everything. I thought, like, okay, what did I do? Yeah. But yeah, okay. So I got some responsibilities because I also got a videographer into this. So I was stressed. And I was thinking about ways of, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. But okay, in the end, we did it. And in the preparation side, it was kind of cool because the adrenaline was building up. I got to the videographer and he said, we cannot take these shots or these shots. So what we're going to do is he was putting microphones everywhere on me. It felt kind of cool. Like all secret microphones.
Yeah.
And he said, like, okay, this has to be the tactic. You need a microphone like here, but it cannot
like
touch,
a wire, like in a movie.
Traditional, but the wire cannot touch too much of the clothes because then it has a bad sound. So we better put the microphone at the massage table as well, in the back, and one there and one there. There were a lot of scenarios. And then he went to the progress, and I thought, man, this is getting difficult because I thought I just have to confront this lady and everything is going to be photographed or filmed and audio taped. But you have to get the nice audio tapes. You need a nice setup. Never thought about it. So it was really important where the microphones were without this lady knowing about it. So I had to position my bag and the table in a certain way to always follow the communication while also not, exposing myself. So happy we did that because it was fun. To be honest, it was fun. It was a bit stressful at the start, but I felt like 10 years younger, because when I was younger, I loved adrenaline. I loved the rushes. I did a lot of extreme sports just for the adrenaline rush. And once you grow older, life gets a bit more boring. And
you're just more careful because you get older. I understand.
More responsibilities. And then you have this case, and okay, it's a lot of calculation and not that much can go wrong. But okay, it was a bit of stressful. And I'm glad we went on with it with the preparations I had. Because,
Okay, now comes a really cool part, which is the actual confrontation.
Okay.
So there is a level of danger personally because you don't know who is at home at the space. So this is you. And on the other level, there's a level of danger about, image, damaging your image. And so there's two levels playing there. Can you explain us a little bit what you were feeling about both of those?
Okay, but at that certain time, the damage about the company or the image, it goes before you do the actions. And let's be honest, if we do this and it doesn't work out like it should, we are always able to not expose it. So we still had all the cards in our hand. The only thing what could happen was that we were wrong. I was 100% sure. And that this client itself could start like a defamation progress. But I was not really thinking about it. I was thinking about, let's see how it unfolds. Of course, to confront this lady, especially like 10 minutes before that, when we had the car parked nearby, we drove past the house, saw one car there, saw if there, I wanted to check, is she alone? Montaging everything, all the hidden microphones. This was a very stressful moment. At this time, I wouldn't say I was afraid, but adrenaline was building up. Because you don't know where you're getting yourself into. You don't know how the client is going to react. You don't know the situation there. So it's just going with the flow. On another thought, I thought if it's really going sideways, I can always leave my massage table. I'm a good runner. So I think like I had something like, let's just do it. But it was some positive stress that was building up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think without further ado, let's start playing the clip of the confrontation.
Hey, goedemiddag. Ik had begrepen dat de vorige afspraak per ongeluk geannuleerd was. Ja, dat was vanwege nog een openstaand factuurtje, hè?
Nee, het ding is, die persoon zich daarin vergist, dus ik heb Nicky daarvoor aan de lijn gehad. Ja, jij zit nog schoon in uw termijn.
Ah ja, oké.
Dus hij zegt, excuseer ons daarvoor, want ik had inderdaad eerste zondag gevraagd.
Ja.
En toen is dat in één keer laat niet genegeerd. Oei, is er daar iets misgegaan? En maandag teruggedaan, dat weer geannuleerd. En hij heeft mij via mail gecontacteerd met zeggen, sorry.
Okay. Ze hebben dat goed opgevolgd.
Ja, er is van intent is er iets fout gelopen.
Ah ja, oké.
Dus ik voel excuses ervoor. Dus,
Oké, is het voorgaand factuurtje al betaald nu dan? Ja, oké. Want ik heb dat net gecontroleerd en dat bleek nog niet betaald te zijn.
Ah, dat kan zijn, is via de zaak niet betaald.
Ja?
Het moet niet in orde zijn. Bij ons is dat automatisch instant. Dat is bij ABN AMRO, dat is altijd instant.
Ja. Eens kijken, hè. Ja, we proberen het altijd wat op te volgen tegenwoordig. Dat we veel last hebben van mensen die niet betalen.
Ah, oei.
Ja.
Ja, want je hebt toch een vrouw inkomen?
Origineel, maar jammer, die is ziek.
Ah, oké.
Ja,
en dat heb dat niet goed, ja.
Heb je misschien een bewijs van overschrijving? Of?
Nee, niet hier, dat is via de zaak, dus dat moeten we nog vragen.
Ja.
Nee. Want wie bent u dan eigenlijk?
Ik ben een van de zaakvoerders.
Ah, oké. Ik kan nog rustig al die mail doen.
Ja, maar we gaan eens even... We toch even overlopen eerst.
Ja, dat is gewoon via die link dat ik het gedaan heb.
Okay, so the first confrontation was there, and then you see the client like, yeah, but I paid. She didn't pay. I really checked it on my phone, so in my bank statements to really confront her. So it was a good smooth entry.
The thing that I noticed the most was that she says, "Who are you?" And you say, "I am one of the zaakvoerders, one of the business
Company
owners."
yeah.
And she goes, "Ah, okay." And she reacts, really shortly, like surprised.
I think
and
the
like,
dynamic changed at that moment, and I think I also felt it because now I'm going.
Yeah, and it's also really funny because at first she says, "Yeah, Nicky called me to change the appointment,"
Nicky,
blah blah blah.
yeah.
But she doesn't know that you are Nicky, right? So I found it quite amusing.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's
continue.
Let's continue.
Ja, maar ik heb hier... dus jij hebt... uw naam is...
Ja, klopt.
Eens even kijken. Want ik heb ook deze nog openstaan.
Ja, normaal is alles via de zaak betaald, dus dat staat mij nu wel verwonderen.
Ja, het is niet betaald. Hè. We hebben meerdere contactpogingen gedaan.
Ja, en via welk mailadres was dat?
De mailadressen schillen altijd. We hebben international gehad. Houses.
Ja, dat is allemaal hetzelfde. Houses,
Maar ook via post en zo gestuurd. Hè. Post aangetekend.
En daar is nooit geen reply op
Er
gekomen?
is nooit geen reply op gekomen. Ja.
Oké, ja, van mijn part kan ik dat allemaal niet... Dat weet ik nu wel dat hij...
Maar dan gaan we dat, als het goed is, gaan we dat ineens betalen.
Ik ga met de zaak doen, dus dat kan ik nu niet doen.
Yeah, het ineens so at that moment I thought she's not saying it isn't hers. The invoices are not from her. She said, oh, it was most probably paid. So at that time I thought like, okay, let's pay it. Let's do it. But yeah, always going on the company.
Kun je dat niet via je gsm doen?
Nee, zakelijk...
Want dit staat natuurlijk op een privé. Dat trouwens ook, dat staat niet op een bedrijf.
Nee, klopt, nee. Nee, maar ik zeg dat zo wel, ik zeg dat zogezegd consultant, hoe zeg je dat nu? Er heeft een boekhouder voor een keer opgezet, nee, niet wat therapie was voor een keer.
Ja.
En daarvan dingen had opgezet.
Ja, dat doen wel meer klanten.
Hij heeft daar een vorm op gegeven, dat niet nemen.
Ja, dat kan perfect.
Ja, mag je gerust achterlaten.
Ja, ik vraag me eigenlijk af waarom dat dan... Ja, waarom dat nooit bij u terechtkomt.
Ja. Het is ik nu
Want is dit uw vorige adres dan?
Ik heb verschillende woningen, ja, klopt inderdaad.
Ah, dus je
Ja, ik heb verschillende woningen. Ik woon hier en ik heb hier ook een woning dat ik nu verhuur.
Yeah, it's very normal to have different houses.
Yeah.
Super normal, right? Let's go on.
At that time, so the way she profiles herself is like a real business lady. She's also looking nice. She had a nice house. And she profiles herself by being a business lady, having multiple companies, doing everything between the companies, having multiple houses. Nothing is true. But it's gonna unfold.
Let's let it unfold.
Ah ja, oké.
Ja. Dat is nog sinds een paar maanden zo, dus...
Ja.
Ja.
Ga je eens kijken wat het volgende dan?
Nee, dat ben ik niet.
Zeg jij dat niet?
Nee,
Want dat is ook
deze klopt wel, hè?
Ja.
Deze klopt wel.
Want dit is ook in...
Ja.
Maar dat is ook mijn e-mailadres geboekt.
Dat zou mij wel verwonderen, want dat is niet... deze is wel van mij.
Deze is niet van u.
Nee,
Nooit
deze
gewoond?
wel. Nee, deze wel.
Oké. Maar het ding is, de 3 gelijkaardige dingen die we met die hebben gekregen, is dat uw geboortedatum telkens hetzelfde.
Ja. Nee, deze klopt wel, hè? Deze wel, ja.
Nu, ik vermoed dat deze ook klopt, eerlijk gezegd.
Ik heb dat niet gewoond, dus dat zal ik zeggen. Het zou nu raar zijn dat ik deze erbij pak, maar deze niet. Dus,
Ja, ik kan de massage eens doorgaan.
Ja.
Misschien dat je die massage daar hebt laten doorgaan. Maar deze is wel degelijk...
Ook gestuurd geweest via daar allemaal.
Ja.
Ik ben benieuwd. Ja, deze klopt wel, hè. Deze is mijn vorige woning, maar de andere ben ik niet meer akkoord.
Nee, hier ben je niet meer.
Can you talk about the different aliases and and about the different email addresses, because she kind of grilled herself or kind of exposed herself in a certain way. Can you explain this? How like what you were uncovering exactly at this moment?
Yeah. So at first I wanted to confirm if this was the persons, but the persons were always other aliases, so other names with different addresses. But at the start, I asked about the email addresses, and she said, "Oh yeah, it's all the same company. It was all with. I'm gonna name it. You can beep it afterwards. International houses, all combined. And then we had the names, and the names were also correct. But after 2-3 invoices, I told her, and in the beginning she didn't feel it coming. Of course, also the dynamic changed, and she went defensive." Oh, it's not, but it was her. It was actually more her than the later invoices. Because what she did is she used her 3 girl names on her passport. I know that now. I didn't know that at that certain time.
So as her aliases weren't fake names, they were just different parts of her first names.
Yeah. She had
last names.
4 names. Yeah. No, so she used every single name. And there's even like a letter on her passport. She has 3 girl names and a letter. She even used that name. It was a letter F. You don't have to beep that. But even that name she used. And of course, for a reservation, you need an email address. And she wasn't using regular email addresses. She was using company emails. But a lot of her companies had the same...
email address, right?
Yeah. It were different companies, but one was doing international business, one was house markets.
So you were able to link the names and the email addresses and the birth dates. And when she confirmed the first two, when she was not expecting you to confront her, she confirmed some parts of the information that were also true in the other aliases. And that's how you think, or allegedly think.
Allegedly. That's why I said, I'm going to be honest, and these ones are also yours. Of course, if she says she didn't live there, what can I do? I think I stayed.
She was
calm.
Let's continue listening, but she was very strong in keeping up your story versus mine.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, if you don't want to fuck yourself over, you must keep your version of the story alive.
Yeah, let's
keep listening.
Yeah. It was a very professional lady.
Yeah,
she
because later we will hear some more information about other players who confirm that she's a very well put together woman and very intelligent.
Ja, let's go.
Nee, hier ben je niet mee akkoord. Nee. Maar dan gaan we even naar de volgende.
Ja. Nee, dat zeker niet.
Nee?
Nee.
Ja. Nochtans, weer al dezelfde geboortedatum. Wel een ander telefoonnummer, maar ook weer iets met d. Kan dat zijn dat uw bedrijven altijd iets met d hebben?
Nee, dat is d en d.
En die National?
Dat is een firma dat ik heb opgericht met mijn ex-man, maar ik heb daar niks mee gedaan. Dus nee.
So here she actually said, at first it's not me, but then she confirmed that the DBA International was actually a company of them and an ex-partner. So in 5 seconds, this was an obvious lie.
Yeah.
This was a very obvious lie, yeah.
Nu, kan eerlijk zijn, die zijn wel gebruikt tijdens die boekingen. Dat zijn geen... Allee, we hebben heel weinig onbetaalde facturen in het algemeen. Dus volgens mij is deze ook gewoon van u.
Ja, dat is uw dingen daarop, hè. Maar ik zie dat je hier blijkbaar een ganse mail met hebt. En ik weet niet wat het hier van de juiste bedoeling is. Ik zou zeggen, dat je denkt dat van mij stuurt door via mail.
Ja,
en dan kun je daar zo op die manier verder over in discussiëren.
Ja, maar blijkt niet lukt, hè. Want...
want ik heb jullie contact via mail hier.
Ja, maar ik kan eerlijk zijn, dit is onbetaald, dat is onbetaald, dat is onbetaald. Als er contactpogingen zijn, wordt er niet opgenomen, want je hebt telkens andere telefoonnummers opgegeven.
En hoe hebben jullie mij nu gecontacteerd dan? En die was ook via mail?
Ja, en ook die nummer waar ik op heb gebeld is altijd voicemail.
Ja.
Als jij zelf terugbelt, dan doe je dat anoniem.
Ja, maar dat staat automatisch. Ik kan niet naar iedereen bellen, dat staat altijd automatisch.
Ja, maar dat is toch ook een beetje gek dat je anoniem belt, niet?
Nee, dat is omdat dat via de zakelijke lijn is en dat je daarom... Dat is niet per se mee...
Maar dat kunnen mensen nu niet terugbellen.
Hoe bedoel je?
Als jij zakelijk belt, dan kunnen mensen nu nooit terugbellen.
Dat klopt, ja. Maar bon, ik weet niet wat de juiste bedoeling van is, maar... of waar dat je naartoe wilt, maar...
Ja, ik denk dat het... Ik heb hier nog eentje, mee. Dat is eigenlijk uw echte naam.
Ik heb verschillende voornamen, maar ja.
Ja, je hebt meisjesnamen, hè.
Ja, ik heb verschillende voornamen, ja.
En die gebruikt het telkens
She admits it.
Ja. Dus ik heb hier eigenlijk 5 verschillende namen.
So she knows, you know.
Ja, now she knows.
Oké, en wat is nu... Of ik zou zeggen, laat alles hierachter.
Ja, maar ik ga eerlijk zijn, ik zou het liever gewoon oplossen.
Ja, en hoe denkt u deze nu te willen oplossen dan?
Dat je dat betaalt. Als dat betaalt, is het opgelost voor ons.
Ja, goed.
Er zijn
betalen waar ik het mee akkoord ben, waar ik niet mee akkoord ben, zal ik niet betalen. Dat is simpel is.
Ja, maar dan hebben we een discussiepunt natuurlijk.
Ja.
Wat blijkt, als dat via de rechtbank gaat...
Dat mag je zeker doen. Dan ga ik zeggen, kijk, dan gaat het heel simpel zijn. Dan mag je deze allemaal meenemen. Dan mag je van mij met heel veel plezier naar de rechtbank gaan.
Ja. Nee, maar ik zeg, als dat via de rechtbank...
You wanna settle it between both of you because you just want to get paid. And at some point you make it really obvious, like, if you want to solve it, just
it's gonna be solved if you pay it, of course.
Right? Yeah. And then you say, and then she doesn't go into it, and then you say, yeah, but if we don't take that way, we're gonna have to take a different way. And before you can even finish your sentence, she says, I am more than happy to put in my legal team to solve this issue. Which normal person has a legal team?
I think she knows a lot about the legal way and how justice works. But just because she got confronted so many times with it, she is the legal team. She knows how it works. So yeah.
Most people try to resolve things in a peaceful way.
Yeah,
and this is not even part of the equation for her. She's
Indeed,
she's not even suggesting that, and I find it just really interesting that it's going straight to this, and she feels really comfortable, saying that. I find that just a little bit strange.
What I see in it is like she is a really good actress. From the start, from the moment I entered, she wasn't confronted yet. She talked about her business and how it goes through the business, and on the way, I said, but if you do it through the business, you should be able to check it. Oh, no, I'm not able to check it. It's through another department. Even if I said, but the invoices are on your personal name, it's not being used. Because if you pay with your company, it has to be on a company way. That's how businesses work in Belgium. So she's setting up a theatrical facade all the way. Even when I exposed her about the anonymous calling, but it's because of the business. No, your clients cannot call back. There is no business that calls anonymous. It doesn't happen. Or you are some sketchy telephone company. But it's a real good facade and always in the same way. So she's setting up, she's a good actress at the moment. And it's getting extra.
Maar gelijk deze ben jij dat geweest of niet?
Maar ik woon daar niet. Allee, ik
maar heb jij
ben akkoord met deze. Ik ben akkoord met deze. Deze klopt. Met dat klopt.
Wat klopt nog?
Dat klopt. De rest ben ik absoluut niet akkoord. Hier heb ik niet gewoond. Hier heb ik niet gewoond.
Nee.
Hier absoluut zelf niet.
Nee.
Deze weet niet wat dat is. Doen. Van mij, ik zeg het.
Het ziet er naar uit, mevrouw, dat u eigenlijk gewoon met heel bewust telkens heeft geboekt op een vrij korte tijd stond. Zodra dat wij die services stopzetten, boek je niet meer. En dan het jaar later boekt je gewoon op een ander adres met een andere naam en een ander e-mailadres.
Op zich heb ik geen naam en naam die van mij zijn, hè. Maar ik zeg het.
Nee, maar aliasen gebruiken is...
Ik zeg geen aliasen, hè. Dat is effectief mijn naam, hè.
Ja.
Maar ik moet eerlijk zeggen dat ik dit gesprek alles behalve aangenaam vind. Ik
nee, maar dat moet je...
aanraden. Kijk, we gaan het anders doen. Ik ga u aanraden, moest hiermee verder gaan. Ik zeg, ik ben voor 2 dingen akkoord, voor de rest niet.
Ja.
Ik ga u aanraden om een raadsman te nemen en mijn zoon te
Ja, dat weet ik, maar...
Dan zal die het voor mij met heel veel plezier oplossen.
Ja, maar dat...
nog heel lang duren en voor mij maakt dat niet uit.
Kijk, ik ben niet van slechte wil, mevrouw.
Ik ook niet, maar in ieder geval, u komt hier met dingen af
die kloppen.
Ja, dat zegt u, maar ik zeg dat ze uw woord tegen mijn woord. Ik ga het heel kort houden.
Ik kan eerlijk zijn, de politie heeft het ook al bevestigd, dus...
Geen enkel probleem, ik zeg het. Er bestaan raadsmannen voor een reden, hè.
Ja,
dus,
dat is waar.
Zeggen,
u boekt onder 5 verschillende aliasen. Telkens gebruikt u uw meisjesnamen, wel dezelfde geboortedatum. U betaalt niks, eigenlijk is dat...
Ja, dat is wat dat uw ding helemaal is. Maar ik zeg het, ga kort houden.
Nee, maar het is zo, het is...
Maar ja, maar dat is u zegt niet wat u wilt, dat is uw ding, is geen enkel probleem. Nogmaals, ik raad u aan om een raadsman te nemen en dan zullen die met heel veel plezier hun werk doen.
Jij vindt dat...
Maar ik zeg het, ik ga het kort houden. Voor mij mag u...
Kijk, ik ben hier om een schikking te treffen. Hè. Als u gewoon zegt van oké, ik zal mijn factuur betalen te opstaan. Wij zijn een klein bedrijf, dat doet enorm veel pijn. Deert u dat totaal niet?
Ik heb voor 2 dingen ben ik het mee akkoord.
Ja, maar die heeft u ook niet betaald, hè?
Dus,
maar die heeft u ook niet betaald, hè, die dingen.
Die laatste 150 euro is, denk ik...
Nee, die is 2 weken geleden, maar van vorig jaar heeft u ook niet betaald. Maar normaal, wij vragen... wij hebben een heel degelijk cliënteel. We betalen allemaal op voorhand. Als het is, later is, dan is dat zo. Maar uw afspraak is 2 weken geleden is nog niet betaald. Hè. Ja. Dus ik ga eerlijk zijn, ik vermoed dat u die ook niet gaat betalen.
Dat is uw dingen erop. Maar ik zeg het, ik ga het kort houden.
Ja, maar u probeert...
Dat u hier bent geweest, dat u mij letterlijk al heeft staan afdragen, dat is geen probleem.
Ah, maar ik heb
Oh man, I feel the tension building up again now that I see this. Yeah.
So she says you're threatening her.
We see the conversation. At no single time I have threatened her. I stayed very calm. I confronted her. And at a certain time I said, okay, but this is you. You did this. And I just confronted her. I know you're not going to pay. Even though you acknowledge it, you're not going to pay it. And she is actually exposing herself bit by bit, as I see it.
Let's continue.
Je doet ermee wat je wilt. Maar als je denkt op zo'n manier met mij is te geraken, dan zijn daar verre van.
Nee, blijkbaar. Want ik denk dat jij goed genoeg weet met wat je bezig bent. Hè?
Je doet ermee wat je wilt.
Ja. Ik vind dat schrijnend. Wij hebben zoiets nog nooit meegemaakt. Wij zijn een degelijk bedrijf, wij doen eerlijk zaken. En ja, blijkbaar ligt u ons gewoon op. Kijk, mevrouw, ik hoop dat wij uw naam niet meer hoeven zien passeren. En dat je het ooit eens bij de verkeerde persoon doet. Dat hoop ik oprecht dan. Want je hebt geen schuldbesef, dat zie ik.
Met zo'n manier hadden we mij nergens niet geraken.
Nee, zo blijkt het.
En met dreigementen met de politie nog veel minder.
We hopen u niet meer te zien, hou vast. Want voor mij, in mijn ogen bent u het laagste van het laagste.
Absoluut.
Salut, hè. Fijne dag, hè.
Yeah, intense, man. It's quite a conversation.
It's actually the first time I heard it again, the full conversation.
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, how did it feel approaching her? You know, at first, you know, you're standing in front of the door, she opens, and
I talked about it, but at that time it was stressful, and I just went with the flow. I think I handled it very professionally. I didn't really attacked her by any ways. I just asked her about open standing invoices, and the conversation just developed. What I really see now is the different times that I could actually got her on a lie. I think she got herself on some lies. She confirmed her name while the invoices were not on her name, even though
she did confirm her real name at some point. She just said yes.
Yeah. And it was from the last invoice of 2021 or 2022, so one of the last ones. But even on the invoices, she confirmed at the very start she was not ever going to pay them. Or once I asked for a settlement, she was, I'm happy to send it to my lawyer. She uses that word a lot. I'm happy to send it to my lawyer.
No, she says that they will be very happy to handle it, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, no, she doesn't have a legal team. I think she's very experienced with a lawyer. Probably she didn't pay the last lawyer. But
different story.
A different story.
Speculation.
Yeah, the different story. The thing is, I was standing in my shoes because I did my research before that. So I had contact with her ex-partner. I had contact with different police stations, and I can't say a lot about it because sometimes they break what they can say. So I also knew that the house was not on her name. I knew she had a really track record on different fraud cases. And one of the fraud cases she really does a lot is working with companies and renting. I wouldn't say allegedly because those are already made cases. So I'm not going to use allegedly. So I know for a fact that she used companies in the past, and what she does with the companies is leasing cars and not paying the cars, so the cars have to be taken back. But she switches up companies quite a lot, and she always drives nice cars. I even went on her LinkedIn and I saw her contacting some companies from like a few years ago, and I thought like they're probably all getting scammed. It's not my job to really work it out, but I knew the car was not on her name. I can't say 100% how I know it, but it was not on her name. I have my sources as well. So that's one thing. What I also find very interesting, because it's not how I recall it, I was in the emotion of confronting her, of doing my stories, of pushing like, okay, but I know you did this, and I wanted a reaction. I wanted a feeling of guilt. I wanted some emotion. She didn't give any emotion. And at a certain time, she said like, okay, but it was enough for her. Because at a certain time...
But did you really expect her like to admit to her wrongdoings?
At that time, I didn't know what kind of person she was. I had some facts. I know she did conning, some frauding, some ficing with companies, but I didn't know what kind of person she actually was. It could be that once you get backed up in the corner that you say, okay, I'm sorry, I don't see any option to level myself out of it. I said it to her. If you pay, it's okay for me.
Then she doesn't even have to admit.
I will drop everything.
Yeah, she doesn't even have to admit. Just pay
your invoices,
and then it's done.
She didn't know the conversation was being recorded and
of course not.
What is going on now, because in the background there's going on so much stuff since this happened, and she made the wrong decision. She could have just said, okay, I'm sorry, I had some troubles. Maybe I had some troubles with the company. I went broke. But okay, it could happen. It could happen to the best of us. But even if you're honest and you say, okay, but my company went broke, I'm sorry, and unable to pay it, I would be the first to say, okay, it is what it is, but please, could you pay your last invoices?
So you were giving her the opportunity, to level out. And what you're even saying is like, to her, at some extent, you were saying like, if you pay it back, it's okay. But what you're telling me now is that even if she admitted it and couldn't pay it, it would still possibly be okay.
Which would be okay for me.
This really comes down to like a really important part, which is also not only companies, but also friendship, and all relationships in general. Like you can take your lie so far. But when all the, facts are against you, what do you choose to do? And I think, I hope one day it will come to court and there will be a decision by a judge. And once that decision has been made, then we can also confirm that she was or was not in front of that decision to save face. And that's, I think, ultimately what it comes down to. You were seemingly so kind to give someone the opportunity to come back out of a lie.
Yeah. I think I gave her multiple options.
And that's really a beautiful thing to do, regardless whether the whole story is true or not. We'll leave that aside, but this is what your intentions are, and I just wanna, focus a little bit on this because it's a beautiful thing to do, because you're losing money ultimately.
Yeah, it's very simple, but a company has a few responsibilities, and if you're running a company and there's you are being stolen, if it's by clients that are not paying, it's not really stealing, but even by personnel, I think it's always a learning process, and a company should always make sure that everything is put in place, that it's not an option, or even if it's an option, that you are taking it in account. So I think what this case learned me is, we have so much automatizations and incasso procedures since then, so that it doesn't occur anymore. And on the same way, I had different companies in the past, and it happens. People that go broke. Even she was talking about companies, she didn't have companies, or not like real companies, but even a company can go broke. And if a company goes broke, you don't see your money. It's normal. It's part of the game. Let's just hope it's not too much, but it's also your responsibility that it's not ever being too much, that you're going broke. Sometimes you heard these kind of stories that one company goes broke and it takes some companies with him. I think it's always it's a responsibility in both ways. In this case, it's a lot of money. In a way, like it's...
How much are we talking about? It's
in a way, it's a lot of money, how you look at it. If for...
no, but in a concrete way, can you...
It was like, it was 2,500 euro. So it's not a lot of money for most companies, but it is enough money to pay yourself for a month and to survive. And even for small companies, 2,500 euro is a big help. You can even look up my numbers, but our company is in a growing phase. In a growing phase, you are reinvesting everything. We end our year with only 10,000 euro profits. So 2,500 euro is 25% of our total year's profit. In a way, it's a way you can look at it. In another way, everything you can relativate, yeah. Sometimes the combination of words is difficult, but in a way, okay. And in this case, this was So some of the cases, like I told you in the start, were like years ago. We already put in all the effort. By the way, the effort is more, if you calculate it, it's more money than the actual invoice, getting your money, putting in the effort by reminding,
time also,
lawyer, proceeding, just actually it's a lot more than that actual invoice amount that we've put in. And it's already on the pile of lost income. I don't care about the money anymore. If I get it tomorrow, I would say, okay, thank you. But in a way, I wouldn't care. I would care if she would be honest. Now that I look back at it, some things remind me. So one of the last lawyer cases said we cannot find this person, okay, because she used aliases. And one of the persons was moving to abroad. But now I know that this person was actually not domiciled in Belgium anymore.
Living officially.
Yeah. And that's why we couldn't find her. Now that I look at it again, I think like, man, I still didn't do this, by the way, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to combine them again. I'm going to send them again because now I know she's domiciled in Belgium. She's living at
Also, you would resend the invoices simply to the right address.
To be honest, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I know I'm in my right, but I didn't take any extra. I went to the police, but to be honest, the police is not going to get my money. Mm-hmm. Police is just going to prosecute her for frauding. I will put up I think I'm going to combine it again. Just send it because she deserves it. Now that I look at this conversation, she deserves it. She's a very dishonest person.
Yeah, it will always be nice to get some of the money back, but our journey continues.
Yeah.
And it's really not only about the money. And so on your way home from this confrontation, you called an ex-boyfriend of this person. And we have another audio snippet. And I think
Did you have the call as well?
I do.
In the car.
I do. I just have to mention that at some point in the call, a backup audio was used. So at some point, the image will break down and we will just continue hearing the rest of the conversation. Yeah. So just let's have a listen and see how the story continues literally minutes after this confrontation.
I will give the context. So after the confrontation, I called to her ex-partner, and the ex-partner is actually the guy that was really honest with me, that I got back from my invoices from years ago, and I had different chats with him, and he pointed me out different persons and different, so that I had a lot of back knowledge before I came there, so I wanted to give him an update as soon as possible after I went there. So this is the call you're gonna hear.
Hello?
Hello, sir. It's Nicky from VayaMassage.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, quite okay. Is it okay? Do you have time to call?
Yeah, of course, yeah. No problem.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I just went to her house and I confronted her.
Oh yeah, you confronted her, yeah?
Yeah. And
yeah. Did she answer the door?
She answered the door. She actually had a massage appointment, so I was inside the house with my stuff, and I confronted her with the invoices one by one. And the first one she said, it's probably paid through the company.
You know which company?
Indeed. And
so that was today. Sorry. This was just now, yeah?
Man, I actually was there half an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still in the heat.
Was she by herself or with the children?
She was all by herself at the moment. Yeah. So, and we actually had a conversation of like 15 minutes.
She was manipulating. Anything she told you was a lie. Let me tell you now.
Yeah.
Anything this girl has said to you is manipulation and a lie. She needed to get you out of the apartment.
Yeah. She tried to get me out, but I always disrupted her or started about something else. The thing is, she actually said one of the names was her, and it was in.
Yeah.
And when I said the other address, She said she never lived there. Yeah. It's funny, but on another note, she did confirm she had company names. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our company. It's in Luxembourg. If you ask for it, you see. Okay. Everything's in Luxembourg. It's all. I'm not gonna say we do have the company, but it's just that there's nothing she can do with those companies. Yeah. There's no income coming in. She's using these companies to just get things done, whatever she wants.
Yeah. There was actually a nice car at the driveway with
Mercedes
but with Dutch number plates, Holland number plates.
Because if police catch her driving, she's not even supposed to be driving. If police catch her driving, she's got no license. So that's why she takes cars out, not in Brussels, because in Belgium, they're going to ask her for the driving license and all of that here. So I don't know how she manages to do it, but she gets there. You see everything. And even that house she's in right now, she probably even hasn't paid for it. Yeah. And she's just going to do the same thing, not pay the landlord. And that's the problem with her. She understands that once you signed, you have to go through a whole procedure, to go get whatever you want back. Do you understand?
Yeah. I actually, at a certain time, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna give it to my lawyer, fix it with him." And I thought, but I was like, okay, but or no, I just want to make a deal with you. And I told her I went by the police, and the police is actually starting a case against her.
Good. Yeah. Listen, I spoke to her not even 5 minutes. See, when we were speaking on the phone that day, not even 10 minutes after, I called. I was trying to get the landlord, so I must have called the landlord of the house just to make sure that if she had moved or not before you gave me the address. Yeah. And the landlord told me the same thing. He's looking for her. I did the same thing as I did with you. I gave him the address. He said, I don't know, she's disappeared. I don't know. And he was even scared to go inside the house, thinking that he's breaking a law because she might still be there and she's just not paying him. And I told him, hey, she's gone. She already left that, so...
Yeah. The police is actually... the police told me she doesn't live officially here. And she still lives officially in...
Oh, so she hasn't put her address yet there officially?
Yeah. She hasn't put her address there yet. I actually had the local agent. He was a very nice guy on the line, and he drove by the house and everything. So yeah, they know about it.
So you went to the local police station?
No, I went to my police station where I live, and they started a case. But it takes time. But the police said if you want to go there, contact the local police as well. So I did that.
Okay, do you have the number of the local police?
Yeah, I can give you, man. I actually want to ask you something because. Yeah, it seems like she's a real fraud. Can I ask you what she did to you, or what you know that she did?
Okay, so basically, like I told you, we've opened a company. I met her. I was in a relationship with her because I met her, and she's convincing. She's a very convincing girl when she talks.
She also looks very nice. It's a decent lady.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You would never think that she's like that. You would never ever think. And then getting to know her, basically, I started, that's when I had a shisha, basically. I had my own shisha bar when I met her. So I met her in my shisha bar, and she got to talking. I told her I'm from London, and then she was like, oh, okay, it's good. I'm from, I speak English and all of that, but I want to open. Anyway, we got to doing business together. Yeah. She managed to convince me to open this record label with her. So I opened it because at the time I was seeing I had an artist, right? Yeah. So I wanted to do things officially. So she got me to sign in, and it was through her contacts basically in Luxembourg. It wasn't even one of my contacts, it was one of her contacts. She was like, yeah, I've got a friend, he can open us the company there. So I trusted her. Her. I was a fool. I was a real fool to trust her. And once that was done, is that we signed the paper. It was supposed to be 50-50. But what she done is she only put me as she put herself as director. Yeah. Of the company. So it means that.
So I think it's interesting here to kind of talk about what's happening. So basically, you had talked to the guy a couple times before, and he helped you understand more clearly. It was actually kind of the key to the whole story, right? We didn't mention it before, so he helped you understand. When you talked to him the first time, you had already some things that you knew. And you talked to this guy, and he was already mentioning things that you knew, but you didn't ask him.
Well, I let him confirm the things I was thinking, especially about my own case, not giving everything away, and he confirmed it. In this way, I know he was genuine. And once that trust base is built, I know it's a genuine guy, and you hear he's being heard as well, and he is a victim as well. So what goes on before this is actually because I called him before, obviously, to double check some things, and you hear it. He's a real open guy. Once he starts, he lets his heart out. So every conversation we had was like, you just stay on the phone. It's like 1 hour conversations. So you build up a kind of trust. Now, he didn't know I was going there. So now that I call him, and we also talked about it at that certain time. And okay, we have this. Now let's hear what other cases she has. And this was actually not our first point of view of what we wanted to do. We wanted to just confront her and expose her. But at this time, it was like, okay, she is a really good liar. What is more about it? And what is the story about it? And what's going on? And this is the conversation that I wanted to have. You're gonna hear it, talking about her, but also talking about a lot more.
Okay, so let's just continue listening to it. But I thought it was really important to check in for a minute what is happening in this particular moment, because the whole story kind of gets as how would you call that? Like
juicy.
Yeah,
juicy.
It gets juicy, right? It gets so much more juicy. So let's follow it up.
So it means that she could do anything without my permission in the company. Like, she didn't need to have my sign-in. Okay. And that's what she basically done. And when she handed in the papers to the lawyer, it got signed over. So I basically had no say in the company. I own 50%, but I've got no say, like executive say, when it comes to, you know what I mean, to like getting papers. And whether if I had to sign a paper, I had to go through her. I needed her signature, but she didn't need my signature.
And did she use the company to
take cars out?
To take cars out and everything, and not pay them.
You see, do you know how much cars she's taken out since? I've found out at least 6-7 cars. She's never paid them. There's letters coming in for the company.
Yeah.
There's and that's just what she does. Like, if you see, this is what I'm gonna say. Within this last month, from what I've heard, she's had at least 4 cars. So what happens is the police will come and take the car off her because she doesn't pay it, or they will come and, you know what I mean, they'll come and seize the car.
Yeah.
And then she'll just call another company, use the same thing she's done to get the cars out. She say, hey, and you know what I mean? People speak to her, she goes to the office, they'll see her, like you said, she looks like a nice little blood. You know what I mean? Blue eyes, she's kind, she's laughing, she talks loads of languages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like...
But it's a smart lady, I can tell, yeah.
He is really enthusiastic about you. And by extension, perhaps me with a podcast. He's really happy and concerned at the same time that there's a certain message that needs to see the world. And what he's experienced is a very personal experience. And along come you.
And
you say, and you, experience. And I think that the way that he's speaking right now is very enthusiastic, because it seems like he feels maybe finally the situation might give him some closure. But let's keep listening to what he has to say. I don't want to fill in everything.
Man, she was professional. She was professional. She kept her chill. And she just said it wasn't her. She went in denial phase. So.
Bitch. She's a real bitch. I'm sorry. She's so.
That's what I mean. She's so good at it. And in front of police, like people won't understand if you don't know her. If you do not know her, like I know her, and you will not understand. You will think I'm crazy the way I'm explaining to you everything she does and what she does. People don't believe me. People really don't believe me, and it's like. I've gone to the police, obviously. I've done what I had to do. So it's like you. I'm waiting, but it's like I'm sick and tired. It's like how much people is she gonna do this to? And she's probably ruined. She's ruined landlords' relationships with their wives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I spoke to a landlord where his wife has totally left him because his wife didn't want her renting the place to her.
Yeah.
He rented the place, and he's put him and his wife in a whole financial problem.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
And the thing is,
she just lives like nothing, like she don't owe nobody nothing. And like I said, she'll brush every single problem she has. She will brush it off. So it's easy, and I'm like, at what point does the fucking law actually intervene and say enough is enough? Like you've done this, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you because you have been it to me as well. I think I want to be one of the last guys she frauds, and I want to make a documentary about it.
Oh my god, please,
actually,
please, my brother.
Wait. I'm gonna explain. I went there with a cameraman, a professional cameraman. He's actually sitting next to me in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, but no worries. Whatever we say is between us. I will never use anything without intent. But if you want, we're gonna do it in a podcast form as well. Because I think if she is being exposed and everybody knows her,
yes,
this is one of the things. But my question is, would you like to be interviewed as well?
Listen, I would love to be interviewed. I would love to be interviewed. Listen, you see what you have in mind now? I promise you, and on everything I have, I literally sat down speaking with another guy which she had fraud, and we literally sat down and we said we actually need to do a fucking documentary on her because this is some I don't know if you watched the Tinder Swindler.
No, I haven't seen it.
On Netflix?
No, I will watch it. I haven't seen it.
This is her in a female version. It's exactly her.
So you watched the Tinder Swindler?
I watched it that evening, the Tinder Swindler. I must say it's a more professional way. It's a lot more money.
What it seems to me is that in the documentary, the Tinder Swindler, it was all about
a facade.
Yes, which was used in a system which was always to. It kind of works like debt. So you first engage with one entity or person, whether it be a company or a person, and you get money in some way. Then you get the money to pay for the debts you have from the previous thing, and then you spend it, and then you need more money, so you go to the next. And so the way that the Tinder Swindler worked was he could only continue operating by conning the next person.
Victim. Yeah.
And so that was the circle. And how did the documentary unfold is at a certain point, someone, let's call it a whistleblower, came into the picture and started investigating beyond the powers of the police, and it was very difficult because this person was very international. Here we're talking about someone who's operating only in Belgium, as far as we know. The scope of it, or the craziness or the bigness of the idea in the Tinder Swindler was way crazier. Because it was very international. It was going all over the place. There was jets, there was limousines.
The Tinder Swindler was interesting because they made a Netflix documentary about it because it was talking about a high society life of a fraudster on a big level. What we're talking about is on a micro level. We call her the Tinder Swindler from the Aldi. It's a local budget store. And this is actually the way she works, but she works local, but she works in the same way. She goes from victim to victim to victim. And there is a reason why she's working locally. It's also because it's a woman. And we're gonna develop in the story, but it's also because it's a mother with children. And I think the scope of this lady would be a lot bigger if she wasn't a mother that had to take care in some way for her children, because it's a really intelligent woman. She talks multiple languages. She's also always in the business society. And even now, allegedly or not, but we know she's setting up new companies, even now.
You told me about this. Let's just leave that in the middle for now, because we will continue to develop the story a little bit further.
Yeah.
But of course, a podcast, we're trying to compress it into 2 hours.
Okay, how much time do you have?
We can go as far as we want. There is no limit, but clearly we're still going to develop a few more things. And then I think we're going to ask the audience if we should develop it further. We will show afterwards a few different parties who've been involved with this woman, and they will all tell their story. But it's very, very compressed. It's a few short statements.
Okay.
And we actually interviewed these people, and the stories that came from them are quite remarkable. So VayaMassage is like,
it's nothing.
It's like 1%.
Yeah.
Or less.
Nothing.
It's so. In order to continue, I want to ask you a few questions about Lucas. How did you, initially get in touch with him, and how did your relationship evolve? I think we've talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on what we've just heard? Was this your first, second, third, fourth communication with him? Because there was already some sort of trust established in your relationship.
I don't know exactly how many times I called him before, but it has been a few times, for sure. At first, the first time I contacted him, it was a really awkward conversation, because I actually contacted him because I found his number in one of my invoice histories, and was some communication with his number. And I even remember on the communication, there was a written statement of one of my colleagues from, this number is not from the client, this guy knows nothing. It was even written about it. So most probably he even had a phone call years ago from one of my colleagues, and he said, well, I know nothing about it. And we left it like this. But now that I spoke him, and he was very open, he wanted to open also for him years later. Maybe he was in a different situation when we first called him. And now he had something to say, because the very first thing he said, and I said it before, was, you're never going to see your money. If you're calling me about an issue of not being paid, you're never going to see your money, because this is how she operates. And at that time, I didn't even know that I was being conned allegedly in that way. But he confirmed 100%. Once I had the first conversations with him, I was sure. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about, if you thought he was being honest, but I think we've quite covered that in the way that, your story with him built up, and we got to the point where you felt it necessary to call him right after the confrontation, and you asked him, is it okay if we can talk? And he said, yeah, of course. And he was super enthusiastic. So it shows there was some kind of trust that was building between you two. There's also some facts that he confirmed without you asking, which helped you establish this trust. And so here we come to the third part of the podcast, which is that your relationship evolved to the point that he was starting to tell you that he also knows about other people who also had interactions with this person. And we have some more clips to show about this. Do you want to talk a little bit about it before we show them?
I started like making a schedule of her timeline of where she lived in the past, what she did with what company, even what her partners were, etc. But this guy, Lucas, he was only part of a certain time of her life. But at that certain time, he knew a few persons. He knew locations I could confirm, living locations, some companies I could confirm. And ex-landlords, and actually the biggest issue, the kids. Only one kid is from him, and the other kid, because he saw what was happening, and we're talking about her oldest child, he gave her, the oldest child is a girl, his name, and he actually adopted her.
So he had one child with that woman, and the child she previously had from a different relationship, he decided to adopt her for certain reasons.
Yeah, for certain reasons, to protect the child. Yeah, indeed, yeah. So it gives some context, because we're gonna see the conversations now. It struck me the hardest, knowing what we know now. We have a few interviews. I felt sick about what I know now. To be honest, I felt sick. I didn't even want to go through with this, because I thought, like, this is not the energy I want to put into it. Not at all. Once you get kids involved or animals involved, or it's not about just frauding companies. Let's keep it on the company side now.
Yeah.
But for me, I had to mention it. I didn't know what way we were going, because it brings up a lot of emotions for me. Yeah.
I can only agree. So let's move on to the next one.
I was used, is what I can say. I was used definitely, where perhaps not money, but material things were used. I was used for her to be able to take out material things such as cars and things like that.
Als je alles bijeen gaat nemen, wat denk je dat de schade is, financieel?
Financieel, dus de uur dat te laat is, zitten we al aan 900 maal 3, dus ja, je zit al aan 27 euro. Ja, 2700, plus nog de kosten van de keus. Allee, dat is 3000, plus nog rechterlijke kosten zitten aan 4000, 4500, zoiets.
Ja. Hoeveel denk jij dat ze van jou heeft gestolen?
We spreken over boete en geld zo meegenomen. 50.000.
50.000? Oké. Heb jij ooit politie ingeschakeld? Advocaat ingeschakeld?
Politie komt niet tussen.
Je hebt dat wel ooit al eens...
Ik moet een advocaat betalen. Die advocaat heeft mij gezegd dat ik ga misschien nooit die geld terugzien.
Ja.
Dat was de eerste antwoord van die advocaat.
Ja. Can you describe your emotional journey going through the relationship and up and recovering the truth?
Very emotional. Very. I think I've had relationships in my life, but this relationship really, really, really took me somewhere else. It made me discover emotions about myself which I didn't even know I had. It's taken a lot of my mental health. Thank God I've got family and I've got friends to remind me, obviously, that, you know, I'm a good person and that I'll get to wherever I want to get to in life. But she really, well, how can I say it? She stung me. That's the word. She stung me. I can't lie about it. I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be a man up in front of you lot and tell you that she got me. Like, I was really in love. I was really thinking, okay, she's hurt. I could see she was hurt, but my problem was trying to fix her.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be my problem. You shouldn't meet someone and try and fix them. You know what I mean? I don't even believe that anybody should be in a relationship when they're that bad mentally or unfixable. Exactly. I don't even think they should be in a relationship. But that's just that good side of me that I just really wanted to be there for her, and you know, spending time with her, hearing her stories of what she's been through in the past. I'm not gonna lie to you. You do tell yourself what kind of human like goes through these type of things, and you try to maybe find excuses for them all the time. So you're like, maybe the fact that this person grew up in that way or went through this, maybe that's why she can't see any different, and she can't see that she's doing wrong to people.
En dan ja, voilà. Ik vind het toch spijtig dat dat zo moet.
Ja, het is ook een vriendschap weggegooid.
Ja, zeker. Maar bon, ja, hoe moet ik dat zeggen? Toch denken dat er mensen, ook al zijn ze goede vrienden, dat er misschien niet kan achterliggen dat je echt geen vertrouwen hebt met die mensen.
Ja. Heeft jou dat zodanig geschaad? Heeft het zodanig een impact gehad?
Ja, toch. Ja. Toch. Ik heb me toch wel beginnen bedenken, de mensen van, ja bon, is dat wel juist, dat wel niet juist?
Ja, dus je zou niet meer willen verhuren?
Verhuren weet ik niet, echt waar. Dat heeft mij de goesting eraf gehaald. Niemand moet dat eigenlijk ervaren, zo'n ding.
Als je handelt, ga je altijd eerst van het beste uit. Ja, dat
is normaal gezien dat het zou moeten gaan, maar ja, je ziet.
Ja. Hoe voelt je? Want natuurlijk, je was akkoord om geïnterviewd te worden. Wat zou je graag ermee bereiken?
Wat ik er zou mee bereiken? Sowieso dat iedereen weet wie dat ze is. Dat ze zien wat voor persoon dat ze is en wat dat ze kan doen. En echt gewoon hopen dat er niemand meer in zo'n val trapt. Want ja, ik zeg het, ik heb maar 1 appartement, ik heb nog geen kinderen, ik heb nog geen kinderen, dus dat is allemaal geen probleem. Maar mensen met een echt degelijke grote situatie die ze daar echt intrekken en zich laten niet omkopen, maar ompraten. Ja, bon, inderdaad. Daar is ze wel sterk in, dus ja, dat kan grote impact hebben op mensenleven.
Going through this hasn't made me lose all my faith in humanity, because like I told you, I've got good people around me, family members, associates who I work with, colleagues, which remind me every day that there is good people around us.
Yeah.
And that one situation doesn't reflect all the other situation and all the other people that's in your life and everything that's going on, you know? So no, I wouldn't say that it's made me lose trust, but I am very much more wary. Like I said, I would analyze things 10 times over before getting into it.
Dat was echt, die meisje, echt waar. Hey. Ai. Die relatie van ons was echt... Ik weet niet, hè. Ik neem die meisjes naast mij zoals... ik weet niet. J'ai pas de mots.
Yeah, intense, man. It's quite a conversation.
It's actually the first time I heard it again.
My question to you is, have you, after this whole experience, did you also lose faith in humanity?
Not really. I think at a certain time I said I never had that much faith in humanity. But no, man, no. In a way, I try to surround me with positive things. I'm glad we did it. It was a emotional roller coaster because we got confronted with a lot of negative things. And in a way, I told myself, like, okay, I did this now let's put up a barrier and put my energy in more positive things. But I know she's in a downward spiral and she doesn't have a way to get out of it. She has no friends, she has no family, she has no men. She even doesn't have kids. She has kids, but they are not hers anymore. Even the kids don't want to be with her. So it's a really bad way to live a life. I feel really sorry for her. In a way, I even thought it yesterday. What if she's fixing her life? What if she's fixing her life and we are exposing her with this podcast? Why would I take the chance from her for fixing her life? And then someone said, but she's not doing that. But how do I know? So I wanted to cancel this podcast originally. Today I wanted to cancel it. Today I called to several other persons. So I called every previous contact I had of different police stations. Yeah, and it made me choose to continue it as well. I don't think she is fixing her life, but I hope she's gonna do it in a certain time. I hope she finds a way to pick everything up again. The thing is, she has, and that's why we have to continue this. She is ruining lives. I'm thinking about her because I really feel bad for her. But in a way, she's really impacting some lives.
Originally, you wanted to achieve something for your business. You wanted to make a point. You wanted to make a little fun, in parentheses, clip to put on social media.
Now that I look back on it, my first thing I said before was revenge. And after that, I thought like, man, let's learn. Let's make people aware of the kind of situations that can happen. And I really wanted to give it a very business-wise, strategic-wise, how to be safe doing business with persons and what to take in account to warn other entrepreneurs and also other people. It's not only about businesses, because the world of phishing over the internet, it's a really big issue at this moment. And in my way, I got not fished in a general way. I got more conned as a company, but it's something in between. I think we need to bring up awareness of these kind of issues. And one of the conversations I had earlier today, because I had multiple conversations with police officers and also to follow up my cases, they said when they get a case like this, they don't look forward to it. Because one, it's very difficult to solve. They don't have the means because the internet is very big. It is what it is. Of course, if you have a big enough case, they do. But what is a big case?
When do we get taken seriously is really the underlying question.
I know, and I think we are not going to be taken seriously because they don't have the means for it. And I think it's we need to make sure that it doesn't happen to us. So actually, what you have to do is get your shit together. As a company, it's not the first thing you think about. You think about how I'm going to market the products, how I'm going to make money, how I'm going to survive. You don't think how am I going to protect myself from theft or disloyal clients. But it's a system you have to put in place. You only have to put it in place once, by the way.
Thank you, for coming here and telling your story, because this will give a genuine idea about how certain people operate and how they take advantage of people. But it's not because you told your story that all of a sudden there's a certain a protocol in place that you can implement in every company. It's not so.
No.
It's a very, very particular person that you had to deal with. Think about it for a minute here. What conclusion can we make, except for bringing awareness and telling our story? What can we really say?
I find it a very difficult question because you said in a very particular way. I think once something happens, I think you need to go on with your life. Once you have a bad experience, nobody can help you for it. You cannot prepare for it. If it happens, it happens. Believe me, and I hope the damage is going to be okay so that you can continue. But don't look back. It's the only way, because nobody's here to save you, and police has only so many ways or means to help you, especially if you are a company, you have issues with the clients, you have separate ways to fix them. So I think doing honest business in the end is always going to pay off as a business side itself. And if you have these loyal clients, it's going to be what it is. But cut them off at a certain time and continue. Don't put too much energy in it, or not more energy that you can take. It's not okay. You don't have to be like I went afterwards. You can go after your money. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs I talk with, and a lot of friends of mine have their own companies, and they say, even for a lot bigger numbers, sometimes they say it is what it is. Sometimes we take one, sometimes we lose one. And it's also a logical way to think about it, because now it's small money. Even if it was 10,000 euro or more, sometimes going on takes less energy and brings back more than going afterwards, especially as the way I did now.
Yeah, you put a lot of energy into it. But I guess when I'm thinking about what you're saying, ultimately it comes down to something very simple. Every company has its values, its ethics.
Oh.
And if you lose at an unfair interaction, because, that's how the world works, right? The criminal takes advantage of all the things that you accept as a rule. So you're always in disadvantage. And all you can do really at that point is state very clearly what your values are. And so I think that's what you did today. You stated what your values were, but you didn't. I think your statement was very universal. It's about being honest.
What goes around comes around, and the people that do bad things, they will get it eventually. It's karma, and for us or for other people, just try to be positive and just try to surround you with positive energy. The energy aspect is so important. A lot about manifesting it. It's a part of it. I think I wouldn't do this again, I guess.
Interesting.
I wouldn't do this again.
Interesting.
Now that I did it, I'm okay with it. But it was a lot of bad energy.
Yeah.
And now I hope it has an impact. And maybe but I don't think she's going to be exposed in a way that she learns her lesson.
So if you had a nice little closing question for the people listening, how do you want to engage with the people who are listening?
I think let's just ask the open question. If you got conned, if you got stolen from, and you know who the person is, would you ever go after it? Knowing that the police can't do anything about it, would you have the drive, maybe the balls, to confront someone that stole from you? And it's not about getting your money back, because it's not going to happen. It's about the confrontation.
Yeah, and why ultimately you want that confrontation? Because yours changed along the process.
Yeah,
it's a really lovely question.
Yeah,
let's throw that in there in the comments afterwards.
Yeah. How are we gonna phrase the question? Would you have the balls?
I think what it really comes down to is, do you still believe in the faith of humanity? And so the whole time, I've been really wary of mentioning that everything that we say is alleged. And so what that means is that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And actually, personally, that is the way that I go through life. And the opposite way is guilty until proven innocent. And I think the deeper question really that we should focus on is that who of you is thinking about other people guilty until they're proven innocent, and who of you is thinking innocent until proven guilty? And I think it's a fundamental way of looking at life that changes everything.
Now that you say it's like this, I think in most, the general consensus is going to be that they're guilty until proven innocent.
That's my point.
How we look at life.
That's my point. That's my challenge. And I think that's the deeper question. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, I feel it.
Nicky, thank you for being at the Firestarters podcast.
Thank you. I enjoyed this. Thank you.